going over a few trades, showing you exactly how to wait for the right trade. There's lots of trades that come up during the day, and you as a new trader that is probably struggling to gain consistency, it is super important that you relax and wait for those right trades. And I'm going to show you what those right trades are and basically how to execute them. So let's head into the charts. Hang tight here for a quick sec while I get switched over. It'll just take me a second. Okay, now that we are into the charts, let's go over the trades. So initially, let me get zoomed in here. Oops, sorry, guys. Zoomed in here. Sorry about that. So what the trade that I took here this morning, personally, this first one was a short. So if we take a look at the chart, we had about 60 cents into the level. Now, for me and my skill set, I want to average into that trade coming into a valid resistance level or support level. Now, I'm going to start in at the first layer of resistance. That is pre-market highs, a pre-market range that was already struggling to go at the beginning of the market open. It held and then it pushed and it really tapped out. Once it tapped out, I'm going to start in. If it wants to fall apart and come down, that's great. I'll be a part of the ride. But I did not add, and I'm going to move my entries in so then you guys can see this a little clearer. I didn't add until confirmation. So I started small. That's my first entry right into that level. Okay. Very small size, small starter size. And then once it confirms, and this is, again, a product of natural movement theory, which is proprietary to Tricktrades, something that I look for and I've created basically a blueprint for on price action. And this is absolutely a phenomenal way to get involved with trades. I did tell members they could take it, but one of the issues with where they may be, the risk was a little bit too wide. So I did prefer them to wait for the long. If we miss the short, you wait for the long. Don't worry about it. I said, no matter what, when we open up mid-range, either we rip to test the high level or we will come down and test the low level. There is no in between. There is no give and take there. It will do this. And that is a key note for you guys listening to this that are not members. It's a free little note. And I'm telling you, it works. 99% of the time, you can absolutely bet on it. Okay. So keep that in mind. So when it comes back up to here, right where my cursor is, that's where I applied my pressure. And I've talked about that in the last one. And then simply just reap the rewards of this trade. Absolutely beautiful. Locking in $7,570 just on this one trade. Stopped out the rest and then started working the longs. Now, the longs in this situation, this is what I want to point out. Let me get this moved over a little bit. So what we have here, folks, is a perfect test on Qs right into the previous close and the 9 EMA, or sorry, the 9 EMA and 5 EMA. So that was part of the trade plan. You're not going to see a level there because we have the level on the daily chart, which is your short-term moving averages of the 9 EMA and 5 EMA. You are backed by massive major protection in that trade. You have speed and distance coming into that valid support or resistance level. Support, in this case, dual layer of support, massive layer of support. Take that trade, no questions. And that's exactly where it banged off of. It banged off of it. Absolutely fantastic. It did that on Qs, and SPY came right down into this level as well. Absolutely fantastic on that. So let's go over to SPYs. So I fucked this trade up, and it happens. I was managing multiple positions. I wanted to clear out my short. I'm trying to execute a long. I'm clicking away the whole nine. And that's where you see that red exit right there where I should have been entering. So then I quickly had to enter when it pulled back for a quick sec. So I managed to get some size in, but it basically screwed that trade up pretty good. And then had some other issues here, kind of missed that big push up with numbers, but that's all right. I'm definitely not going to complain locking in an additional $1,055.90, or sorry, $1,055 flat on that. So really nice trade on SPY. And then Q's exact similar trade coming down into that 9 EMA, 5 EMA. I take that too. There's a reason why I'm taking both. Now, this trade here, it's not a long trade. I'm not in it very long, but I'm going to apply pressure on that. I fucked up on the SPY trade. I come back into Q's, execute that with some size, and in and out, locking in an additional $2,640 on that. So that's how to wait for that right trade. Now, also locked in an additional $1,000. I've locked in thousands of dollars on LIDR. It is remounted. I'm not going to go over that. I'm actually going to do a separate video of that coming soon. For those of you that are still in that trade, treating it like a swing, the way it was meant to be done, it is done. Everything I have said it is going to do. If it cannot clear those highs, it will come down and test that lower trend level, which it did today. And then it remounted it. That's where I applied my pressure on that. Absolutely beautiful trade. I can show you those entries quickly here. So entered as it's coming down, correcting my average, entered on confirmation, entered again. Oops. And then I paid myself on that nice push up. Beautiful red to green move. Ended up holding fairly well. It's kind of holding that level. But again, we'll discuss that later. It's not something that I want to discuss right now. But basically, the point of tonight's lesson is really waiting for those right trades. Yes, you could have taken that SPY trade. It was a valid trade short, but your risk is extended a little bit. It's not out of whack for risk. It's completely fine on your risk profile, depending on where your skill set is as a trader. This is what so many traders fail to realize, and that's what they miss. They're entering into trades that are way outside their risk profile and way outside of their wheelhouse. And that's something that we focus on greatly at Tricktrades. And that's why I recommend it to members. Just wait for the long. Wait for the long. It'll test that. Either it's going to test that short or it's going to test that long. It's going to test that level absolutely beautifully and flawlessly. Just wait for it. And then you have such a clean entry. And it was such a beautiful entry. I should have actually pulled it up before to show the members' results today. They all absolutely crushed this trade. So fucking proud of them for how they're entering and then how they're paying themselves in these trades. This Trick Trade sizing program, the Size Up program, is phenomenal. If you want to turn your day trading around and you want to learn how to actually get the process down and learn how to size up properly to have lifelong consistency, come to tricktrades.com. And on that note, folks, I'm going to wrap this one up and I'll see you tomorrow. Adios.